Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on Arrow Season 6, and this is going to be my trailer breakdown for episode 14, otherwise entitled Collision Course. But of course, before we get into the rest of the video, let's actually watch the trailer.
Going after our former teammates may be a line we can never uncross.
I agree, but they crossed it first.
I do think Oliver wants to fight.
Time to finish this right now!
Arrow, all new Thursday, March 1st on the CW.
So last episode was a massive episode of Arrow. If you've not watched my review for it, you might want to go watch just because just to get my perspective on what happened and some fun moments and stuff like that. But last episode was massive. We saw the end of the Caden James story, the end of Caden James as a whole, as Richard Dragon stabs him in the neck and kills him. But we also had, Dinah Drake going on her revenge storyline, I guess you want to call it, against Black Siren, leading to her actually shooting Black Siren, but Quinton Lance, continuing on that story with trying to redeem Black Siren, saving her, and they're driving off somewhere, and Quinton's probably going to try and put her up in a safe house. But I don't think she's going to stay in there for that much longer. But of course, before we get into the actual breakdown of the trailer and pointing out the massive, or at least talking points from it, we will quickly go over the synopsis for this episode, which was released the other day. But of course, before that, be sure to let me know in the comments section down below what you're looking forward to most in this episode, what, piques your interest, what grabs it and stuff like that. Just let me know in the comments section down below. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Oliver, Diggle, and Felicity disagree with Dinah, Curtis, and Renee on how to handle Black Siren. The two teams face off and a fight ensues. So really, this episode is basically Arrow's Civil War. That's probably the best way to put it. So we have old Team Arrow of, Oliver, Diggle, and as well Felicity. I don't know if she's necessarily going to be fighting with the team, but those three up against this new Team Arrow of Dinah, Curtis, and Renee, or Black Canary, Mr. Terrific, and Wild Dog. And honestly, in my opinion, this is just a very silly matchup. Like, honestly, I think, old Team Arrow with Oliver and Diggle should be easily beating, this new Team Arrow of Dinah, Curtis, and Renee. Like, for me, and I think I've talked about it, I have talked about it with some other people, and I think the majority of other people that I've not talked with also agree with this. Renee, or Wild Dog, and Dinah, or, Black Canary, or the new Canary, are bordering on not being able to come back from this sort of corner or hole of unlikability that they have forced themselves into or dug themselves into this season, especially of recent in the past 5 or so episodes. I mean, Renee's been just like a complete 180 of what his character was, completely ungrateful. Really, he's in this position because of Oliver and Diggle and Felicity, not really because of Dinah or Curtis. He's in this position where he has his daughter in his life. He had that really good job in the mayor's office. He's a completely changed person, essentially. That's all because of the people on old Team Arrow. And Dinah is also the same. They brought her out of this, along with Renee and Curtis as well, brought her out of this hole where she was becoming this villain back in Hub City. So Renee and Dinah are really ungrateful, but they're also in this, as I said, this corner or hole of unlikability, where I think basically everyone watching the show is just like, hey, could these two characters die? Because no one wants them anymore. They're really annoying. For me personally, I do think Renee and Dinah will be leaving the show regardless of whether they redeem themselves and become somewhat likable. I think their characters will be coming to an end just because I don't know where their stories would go going forward into next season. But I think this episode is going to be very painful to watch in regards to those two characters. But we've been talking about Renee and Dinah of this new Team Arrow, but we're missing out on talking about one person. That's actually Curtis. And I think Curtis, or Mr. Terrific, may be the resolver of this and have to choose sides between, okay, do I stick with, Oliver, who's, once again done a lot for me, as well as Felicity as well, or do I team with these new guys who are sort of been assholes? And I think Curtis was slowly realizing that in certain parts of previous episodes, and he might fully come to that realization in this episode. It's just that he is the one that feels sort of out of place with new Team Arrow and all of this. Dinah and Renee have a reason for wanting to not be a part of this old Team Arrow that was there. But Curtis sort of tagged along and gave a really crummy reason, oh, you're spying on us. But who cares, Curtis? The other two was sort of on edge anyway. So I think Curtis is the one that feels out of place, or he seems out of place. So he may be the resolver that, connects both of the teams up come the end of the episode. But as the synopsis does say, Black Siren is most likely the catalyst for this civil war of sorts that is brewing. So I don't know if necessarily at the beginning of the episode, new Team Arrow is going after Black Siren. Oliver once again intervenes like he did last episode to stop it all, even though he was doing it so he could bring Black Siren into Caden James to stop all of that. But I wonder if that's going to be the reason for it, or it just starts, you know, in the beginning of the episode and Black Siren is just, you know, involved in it. And it's just really new Team Arrow wanting to go after her and old Team Arrow intervening and stopping that. Interested to see how that plays out. We'll have to wait and see. You do see quickly in the trailer, some of you might have missed it. You can go back and watch the trailer if you want to prove that I'm not lying. But Diggle's hand is back to shaking and quivering and stuff. So his nerve damage is back. I don't know why that is. I wonder if Curtis tinkers with maybe his chip that he had installed, or that thing that he had installed, that implant thing. I wonder if Curtis does that to, you know, get an upper hand. But yeah, Diggle shaking. Uh-oh. But I guess the big question is, who wins? Who wins this civil war of sorts between old Team Arrow and new Team Arrow? Well, if old Team Arrow lost this, it would be quite silly. Just because Oliver, is so experienced. I know Diggle's got the quivers, but I think if Oliver was just by himself, he would win. Like, honestly, I think he would. Maybe Felicity might be able to hack Mr. Terrific's T-spheres and stuff and maybe make them, like pointless, but I don't know. Old Team Arrow in my book should be winning, but because Diggle's got this disadvantage with the quiver, that might be the reason that they struggle. In regards to Black Siren and Quincy in this episode, I'm interested to see that story play on. If you watched my review yesterday, you would know I'm very, you know, invested in that storyline. I'm interested to see where it goes. Hopefully we get some development in it, because obviously Black Siren is meant to be a decent part of this episode, so hopefully they push forward with that one. There's probably going to be some tension between the two, because Black Siren's still holding on to that, oh, I'm a hard ass, I'm really badass, and I'm not going to be able to get redeemed or anything like that. So it's really Quentin just like sort of chipping away at the ice, if that makes sense, just to get to who she really is and try and redeem her. But one big important thing to say, and some of you might have got it from the trailer, and some of you might just know because, you know, I guess it's public knowledge already, but Arrow is on break. It's not back until March the 1st. The same week as Flash. So Flash is on break as well, and that comes back February 26th or 7th or something like that. And they're both on break due to the Winter Olympics. We still have Legends and Black Lightning, but Flash and Arrow are on break until that week. So, yeah, watch the Winter Olympics, I guess, if you're interested in it, to, you know, fill in some time. But if you're, you know, behind on Legends or even Black Lightning, there's some time to catch up on them. And yeah, so it's a bit of a wait, but I think we had a really good episode to leave off on Arrow with Richard Dragon taking control. So I don't think we can be too mad about it. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on the video to show your support. Let me know in the comment section down below what part of this episode you're looking forward to the most. Who's going to win this civil war between Team Arrow? Is it going to be old Team Arrow or new Team Arrow? Let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.